Welcome to the AI for Career Success video overview by Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. On February 10, 2026, Elon Musk announced a really unexpected shift in SpaceX's primary mission. According to reporting by Connor Beckett McKierney, the company that has been laser-focused on Mars for nearly a quarter century is now aiming for the moon. Today, we're going to break down the strategy behind this surprising pivot. So, this really brings us to the central question that has a lot of industry watchers scratching their heads. For years, you hear Elon Musk, you think Mars colonization. He's the Mars guy, right? So, why would he suddenly redirect his company's massive resources and talent toward Earth's closest celestial neighbor? Let's peel back the layers of this decision. Musk's announcement really was a major departure from a vision he's held for a very long time. Since it was founded, SpaceX was all about one thing: making humanity a multiplanetary species by settling Mars. Now, the new objective, which he announced on his social network, is to build a self-growing city on the moon in less than a decade. This isn't just a small tweak, it's a fundamental reprioritization of the company's near-term goals. Now, what's really interesting here is just how dramatically the timeline has been compressed. The Mars mission, by Musk's own account, was always a long-term plan, a 20-plus year effort. But in contrast, he's now claiming a lunar city is possible in under 10 years. And as Pras Subramanian of Yahoo Finance noted, this pivot happened in 2026, the very year Musk had once set as the target for the first SpaceX landing on Mars. So what's really driving this change? Well, the most straightforward explanation really comes down to a mix of engineering pragmatism and smart financial strategy. Simply put, the moon presents a much more manageable and profitable goal for the near term. Let's dig into the numbers. Analyst Umar Farouk Khan really lays out how stark the logistical differences are. You get a launch window to the moon about every 10 days. For Mars, you have to wait 26 months. A trip to the moon takes 2 days, not 6 months. As Khan calculates, this gives SpaceX 78 times more chances to launch, test, fix things, and solve problems. From an engineering perspective, that is a huge advantage. This really shows why the moon is the perfect engineering proving ground. It lets SpaceX de-risk its entire multi-planetary strategy. You can debug critical systems like life support with a 48-hour rescue window, instead of waiting 26 months for a spare part to arrive. It's the ideal environment to test core technologies like resource extraction and radiation shielding before you try to do it 140 million miles away from home. But beyond the engineering logic, there's a very powerful financial driver here. Both Pras Subramanian and Emma W. Thorne have reported that SpaceX is rumored to be planning an IPO. Now, think about it from an investor's point of view. A 20-plus year plan to colonize Mars, while visionary, is a pretty big risk. A sub-10-year plan to build a city on the moon, that offers a much more tangible, commercially viable roadmap for a company about to go public. But practicality and profits, that's only part of the picture. To really grasp the full scope of this pivot, we have to look beyond just aerospace and into Musk's parallel ambitions in artificial intelligence. And this is where the long-term vision really starts to come into focus. 1 million. This number popped up in a recent regulatory filing, and it's absolutely central to understanding the next phase of SpaceX's strategy. So what is it? Well, according to a post by Sapnil Bhatnagar, SpaceX has filed with the FCC for a mega constellation of up to 1 million satellites. And their job? To function as orbital data centers powering advanced AI models from space. This isn't just about communication satellites like Starlink. This is about moving the actual infrastructure of AI off the planet. The reasoning here is based on some pretty fundamental physics. AI is incredibly power-hungry. As Bhatnagar points out, data centers on Earth are projected to eat up 12% of U.S. electricity by 2028. But in orbit, solar panels are 8 times more productive. There are no nights, no clouds, and space also offers a perfect solution for cooling. It's an infinite vacuum to radiate all that waste heat into. This is why Musk is predicting that there will be more AI compute in orbit than on Earth in just 5 years. So, how does this all tie together? Well, when you connect the moon pivot with this orbital AI strategy, a much grander vision starts to emerge. The moon isn't just a destination, it's the industrial base that's needed to build and support this new AI-integrated space infrastructure, an entire economy operating between the Earth and the moon. The term for this concept is the cislunar economy, and it represents a whole ecosystem of logistics, communication, power, and robotics, all operating in the space between our planet and the moon. This is the arena where SpaceX is positioning itself to dominate. So, the critical takeaway here, as strategist Jordan Fletcher puts it, is that this isn't an abandonment of the Mars dream. It's actually the most logical path to get there. The moon becomes what he calls the iteration engine. It's the factory floor where SpaceX can industrialize and solve the really hard problems of deep space operations. They're building the production system that will make a Mars settlement genuinely achievable. And this is where Musk's other company, xAI, becomes absolutely essential. As Fletcher explains, AI isn't just a payload being sent to space. It is the operational infrastructure. At the scale SpaceX is talking about, having a human in the loop for every decision, for fault detection, for logistics, for scheduling, is just impossible. xAI is being developed to be the autonomous operating system for this entire cislunar economy. Of course, a vision of this scale is not without its critics and some very real hurdles. A balanced analysis means we have to look at the pretty significant challenges that stand in the way. Swapnil Bhatnagar's analysis also gathers the main counterarguments. Critics, including Amazon's cloud chief, have said this technology is nowhere close to being a reality. The logistics are just staggering. There literally are not enough rockets in the world to launch 1 million satellites. What's more, some studies suggest that when you factor in launches and re-entries, these orbital data centers could actually produce 10 times more emissions than the ones here on Earth. And key engineering problems around latency, reliability, and heat management are still unsolved. And this brings us to the ultimate question, which Bhatnagar poses so well. Is this pivot toward an AI-driven cislunar economy the key that unlocks the future of both space exploration and artificial intelligence? Or does it risk becoming the most expensive, most ambitious distraction in the history of technology? The answer, really, will define the next era of innovation. Thank you for watching. We hope this overview has provided some valuable context on this fascinating intersection of space, finance, and artificial intelligence. This is where we teach you AI and help you get smarter than your competition. If you like these videos, please consider using the QR code you see on the screen to buy us a coffee. We'd also appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the AI for Career Success YouTube channel. And please like, comment, and share to help us reach a wider audience.